Hey guys, channel's making it work. I'm Jimmy if you haven't been here before. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I wanted to do a little, everyone's talking about the China versus America in the tool industry. But of course it goes a lot deeper than that. It's not just the tool industry, it's everything. I mean, the cars you're driving have a ton of Chinese made parts, German made parts, a lot of outsourced components. Very little of it comes from America. Matter of fact, a lot of the big three, Chrysler, Ford, and GM, are Mexico and Canada manufactured. They're trying to get away from the high American wages that people are demanding. So they basically end up undercutting the jobs with outsourced items and trying to increase their profit margin and trying to save money on payroll. So it's kind of everything comes around full circle. You know, everything you do, the cause and effect comes after. So if you don't think some of those things through, then you end up dealing with the repercussions. Right or wrong, companies want to make profit, and everybody wants to make as much money as they can too, so that battle is going to always go on. They're trying to build us a global economy. Whether we want it or not, it's happening, and it's been happening for 60 years. We import about $3 trillion worth of goods and export $2.5 trillion worth of goods. So we also export quite a bit. We import a lot of stuff from China, and we export stuff to China. I mean, China's economy's gotten so good now based on all the manufacturing jobs we sent overseas. Their economy's gotten so good now that now they're buying Chevrolets, Buicks, apparently Harley Davidsons do pretty well over there too, which is kind of odd because people in America bash Harley Davidson so much. But anyway, it's pretty convoluted and it's a multifaceted problem. China versus America, what you should buy, what you shouldn't buy, profits and stuff like that. A lot of American companies are outsourcing their things to China and representing them as made by an American company. So it'll say on the packaging, made in the USA with global products, which means it's not made in the USA. It means they put it together here. So they do 90% of the parts and components overseas, and 10% of it is assembly, and that happens here, and they pay someone $12 or $15 an hour at the most to put that stuff together for you, so you can feel better about buying American-made stuff. I mean, it goes so deep. I think a lot of guys, I was watching CP Tools, he talked about it the other day, and some of my other ASM Auto, and a lot of other people have commented on it. So I just want to do this quick video saying that everyone's got to do what's right for them, and your loyalty to a company is what they count on, and they'll outsource what they're selling you and count on your loyalty and jack their prices through the roof and hope that you continue to buy their products based on your loyalty, your undying loyalty. But there's a point where they've got to offer you the best products and services. They got to be competitively priced, or even both. The best product or service they can offer and a competitive price, they're going to win, and people wouldn't buy Chinese stuff. But if they continue to raise their profit margins and reduce their quality and their prices go up, then people are going to find alternatives. That's a competitive world. I mean, there's so much going on there. I mean, I looked up, I'll have to do a separate video on it in more detail, but real quickly I went ahead and looked up some fun facts. For example, it's always Snap-on versus Harbor Freight is all I ever see, and I'm a fan of both. If something's cheap and will do the job, then I'm going to save the money. If something's high quality and expensive, but it's the only thing I think will do the job correctly or last a little while, then I'm going to spend the money. That's why I have so many Snap-on tools. I just got a Harbor Freight toolbox, but I did that because I thought I should have never bought a box that was so expensive. All it does is hold your tools. So I wanted to undo that. It wasn't an anti-Snap-on thing. It was about what's best for me. And what I wanted when I wanted to undo something, it's because it benefited me. And there's so much to it, that there's so many layers. I mean, there's employees at Harbor Freight, there's employees at Snap-on. Both of them make things in the U.S. and sell things made in the U.S. Both of them make things in China and overseas and other countries and import them from Taiwan, Japan, Germany, whatever. But both companies do that. And I can tell you just in a little bit of research I did, that the CEO of Snap-on, it makes about $8 million a year. And then they support drag racing teams, and NASCAR teams, and all kinds of other stuff. So I think in 2010 they had a 6% profit margin for the year 2010. In 2020, they had a 17.6% profit margin. So their profit's gone up because their prices have gone up, but their expenses haven't gone up as much, which it's not an evil thing. It's just information. And do with it what you will. Harbor Freight, I believe, the CEO is the person that started Harbor Freight. I'm not sure if he's still alive or not, but now his son runs the company since the mid '80s, and he actually sued his son at one point. Thought he was spending too much money living a life of luxury and not doing right by the customers. His dad's pretty old-fashioned. He's more of a modern man where he wants to have a 35-bedroom house and things like that. But even so, the CEO of Harbor Freight, I think, is worth $4.3 billion, I saw, and makes like $1.5 million a year in salary, plus obviously his stock options and all that stuff is a huge factor in how much he ends up with at the end of the year if he cashes out stocks or something. But just information, not good or bad. It doesn't mean one's right, one's wrong, one's better or worse. It's just information, guys. I want people to not go berserk on the internet with the comments and anti-American this and pro-Chinese that. And, I mean, it just sounds so ignorant. You just need to be looking for information, figuring things out for yourself. Do a little research. Google's your friend. But in the end, Snap-on, Harbor Freight, Icon, Pittsburgh, Matco, Mac, they don't make their products because they care so much about you. So you do what's best for you, and have a plan. Think a little bit long term, but always try to make the best decision. Do some research before you make any kind of a purchase. I don't care if it's $35 or $3,500. For me, about $35 or more, I'm doing a little bit of research before I buy something, just because I want to know what I'm getting for my money, and I want to see reviews and things like that. So hopefully you guys are all doing the same. Just a little bit of a what's on my mind video today, because there's so much of the stuff I've seen on the internet. But you got to always be thinking, always trying to figure things out. You can't just lock your brain into one direction, and that's, I'm going that direction, I don't care. Everything else be damned. You got to be informed, and then you got to make your decision based on whatever information you can gather, and you'll still never have all the information. But do a little research, figure out what you think you need to make a decision, and do it based on that. I hope that helps some of you guys out. I'm going to end that video here and get back to work. I got to do a brake job on an F-150. So apparently what I think doesn't matter. Maybe it doesn't to you guys either, but you can give me a thumbs down, thumbs up, like or share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Whatever your preference is, because what really matters in the end is what's best for you, right? Not what's, you're going to do something based on what's best for me. You're going to do what's best for you. And if some of the information I'm giving you helps out, then you can decide accordingly. Thanks for watching.